And now, the Kill or Be Killed podcast with Damian Ross, founder and master instructor of the Self-Defense Company.
And we are here. Hey, what's going on, man?
Not too much, my man. Not too much. Just
so I got like
enjoying a cool day here. It's fucking chilly, man.
It's nice. It's nice. I like this time of year.
Yeah.
Shit starts. It's not, it's not humid. It's cool. And then after the first frost, there's like that sweet spot where the bugs are kind of gone. Though we didn't have a tremendous buggy year, but we're dealing with lanternflies.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like the lanternfly thing, they don't really do anything. They're just, our local wildlife eats them. So people are like, they're invasive. I love the invasive species shit because technically, we're all invasive.
That's right.
So, and I think that people, they're like, oh, you must smash them. It's my theory that the people who are trying to kill a lot of lanternflies also may be wearing masks in their car.
Jesus Christ.
They're like double boosted, It's like anything that is alarming that, you read that the media might, you're like, I have to do this. And you're like, dude, what are you doing? I mean, the thing is not like, they're not like hordes of locusts destroying crops, right?
Yeah.
They're just, they're competing on a level. And then again, all like bats, reptiles, and all the animals that eat bugs eat them and they don't die. So
we're probably not going to die from them.
Right. So I wanted to, before we get into why an body armor company accuses me of beating up children. Yeah, that actually happened.
You're beating up children now. Oh, yeah. Shit.
Yes. Hate mail special. But we'll get into that in a second. I just wanted to talk about the new thing we just launched. See that this is Elite Workout of the Week. This is for elite members and instructors in good standing on the training platform. And every week we're putting up a new workout, and it essentially works like this. We're starting with we're going to just have week 1, and then I'm going to work through the modules. And then I'll go through the specialty programs. This way, if somebody's coming in, they don't have to, what date am I? And it's just very simple, straightforward, working within the confines of what we do. And what I do is in the beginning, I tell you what equipment we're using, training dummy or heavy bag pair of shoes and a pair of cojones, techniques covered and where they're located in the modules. So while I'm not going to get into the explanation of a lot of stuff, we're just going to talk about training it. The explanation and the additional drills are all in the modules.
Okay.
So it's working hand in hand. This is exactly how, we're supposed to teach our students and seminars. It's like whenever we have a lesson, we have to reference where that lesson is in the training system, so you can study when you're not there. So these are meant for you to work alongside with. I go through the reps, I go through everything. I did some interesting stuff in here, some new drills with setting distance and footwork on that. So
for people who haven't seen it yet, how long is a typical session then?
It's about between 30 and 40 minutes.
Nice.
So it's they're meant to be like medium to lower medium demanding physically. They may they will increase a little bit as you move through. This is why you want to start on week 1, so you can kind of just go through and then increase the intensity, and then we'll have some other more physically demanding workouts like sprinkled into this.
You're not going to be popping in fucking burpees, are you?
No. It'll be, it'll be like for that. I'm like, look, there's there's module 7 combat PT. We have the stuff in there, but for the most part, I want this to be training oriented.
Yep.
So it's, you're actually getting combative workout. The problem that I have with a lot of practices and training, even from a coaching standpoint, is that a lot of the time you'll go into a class and you'll spend, 20 minutes of an hour class on stretching and conditioning. If that, maybe more sometimes. So stretching and warming up, I get it. But you should build the conditioning into the combatives workout.
100%.
So
And
let's
then-
get our
then
heart
like
rate
it's-
up. Let's get our
Yeah.
heart rate up by doing 3-count chop drill and not burpees.
Yeah, and you know what? And it's going to be important too to learn how to function cold, right? Like, because if you're ever out in the fucking real world and you need to use anything, you don't have time to drop down for fucking 40 to 50 minutes of stretching your fucking groin and hips, right? Like,
Right. And that's why I start with this. We warm up with just working strikes.
Yep.
And you actually getting that use, getting that first snap in there, getting that, that, yeah, that sucks.
And it's
Especially
funny
when
you're
it's
talking
cold out.
It's funny you're talking about this because, like just this morning I went down to hit the fucking heavy bag, 20 minutes, whatever. I didn't like stretch before or anything, but just started just working some palm strikes, right? 100 palm strikes, or I did 50 left, 50 right.
Yeah,
And
I
then
saw your post on that.
Yeah, and then I dropped into some hammer fist elbows, that kind of thing. You know what? By the time I hit knees, I wanted to fucking throw up.
Right. Yeah.
It's amazing how much it just like zaps you when you go into it fucking cold, but everybody needs to be doing it.
Yeah, I mean, this is right. This is how this is why you train. I mean, this is how you're supposed to train. You can't go in and start fucking warming up. I mean, if you're gonna do even when I go running, I use my jogging as my warm up. I mean, I do certain things, of course, when I'm doing some other physical training, but when we do this, I'm like, yeah, start off cold and just start going. I mean, and use that as your warm up, just as you did. I mean, that's just the reality of what we're doing and why, what you're going to be facing and why you're looking at traditional martial arts and combat sports that have a warm up. Again, I get it. You're doing something that's physical. You're going to, you want to warm up, and it's a sport. This is not. So, fucking prepare for what you're gonna see out there. I mean, yeah, once you're warmed up, you could be, grease lightning, but then you try that crap, there goes your hammy.
You know what, man? Just implement a little fucking daily, weekly yoga in your life, and you'll be fine to hit shit.
Right. So, okay, so now getting into me being accused of beating children. All right, so I got this marketing email from a company, RTS Tactical. Now, before I say anything, I want to say the company makes fine products. This has nothing to do with the quality of their product. I mean, they're an armor company, so they make plate carriers and helmets and ballistic shields, and they offer backpacks with a armor plate in it. They have some stuff that's actually NIJ certified. The rest is NIJ compliant. They've got some shields. They got like a few level 3 and level 4 ballistic shields that have passed NIJ certification. The rest, I'm assuming, is NIJ compliant. The deal with body armor is it's essentially a commodity. I mean, if it's not, it's certified. Now, when I say certified, there's 2 ways to be certified. We're only NIJ compliant, which means we send our stuff to a lab. They do the NIJ tests on whatever samples we give them. It could be 1, could be 100. They give us a certificate. Yes, it passed the test. When you do an NIJ certification, they take like around 30 pieces. They you have to fill out paperwork in regards to your process and how it's made. Again, it's a little bit more intrusive. It's a little bit more, it's a lot more expensive. Like 10 times the cost of, getting just one. So let's say it costs like $3,000 to get one. It'll cost like 30,000 to get something like NIJ certified. So it's expensive. I mean, to be honest, they're testing 30 pieces of equipment. I mean, it's kind of like another bullshit tax. I think a lot of these certifications are, but I understand it. I mean, a lot of law enforcement or military establishments don't, or agencies rather, don't, they only want NIJ. And this is why we offer our products without armor. So if you want to use an NIJ certified armor, go right ahead. Technically, even though we sell body armor, we're not in the armor business. I'm in the armor concealment business. So anyway, this is a legit company. It's been around for a little bit. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with their products. And I have nothing, I'm not saying anything that is demeaning about their products. My issue came up with, let me just say, all right, with their marketing. Because, let me just say share entire screen, share. Okay, yeah, all right. Let me know if, because I gotta kind of switch over or something. I know you can see us. Can you see?
I can see your inbox. Now
right.
I can see an email. Yeah.
Okay. So the email read, a new solution to the school shooting crisis. Okay. New solution. So something never seen before and something that's going to solve school shooting. Dear parents, guardians, and civilians, this is a difficult topic to discuss, but it needs to happen because safeguarding your loved ones, especially your children, is your number one priority. With the alarming rise in school violence occurrences involving rifles, we understand the need for reliable protection. But there's a problem. Historically, every school shooting has been done with rifle ammunition such as green tips and some. That's not true. That's a fucking lie. Okay, you look, less than 10% of all active shooter incidents involved anything other than a handgun. So this is fucking bullshit, and it's a lie. And most backpack armor is not rated effectively to withstand these rated rounds. Kind of a lie. Okay, if you want to get technical, some people buy 3A, which is only handguns, and then some people get level 3 and above. Okay, so we developed backpack armor that can. Okay, this is a rifle plate. There's nothing new about this. We're excited to introduce our brand new backpack armor designed to offer unparalleled protection against rifle threats. These armor inserts are lightweight, starting at 6 pounds. Incidentally, people, our lightweight certified level 3 plus armor weighs 3.7 pounds. So that's heavy.
Yeah.
Discreet, fit into most standard backpacks. Okay. Effective against rifle threats. Most importantly, they offer peace of mind for the wearer and loved ones. Save 15% off. It's unfortunate we're living in, but RTS Tactical stands committed to innovating and developing products that actually stand up to threats we are currently facing. Are yours truly, RTS Tactical. So this fucking message is complete bullshit. First, this isn't a solution to active shooters. It's a part of some element of protection against an active shooter. It's part of it. I would never fucking say that. It's disgusting. Second, new. It's been over a decade since people started stuffing rifle plates in your backpack. So there's nothing new or there's no solution about this. And this is what fired me the fuck up. So, of course, I respond. I gotta get my inbox. Okay, here we go. All right. All right. So, can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, so my message, what happens when they get shot in the chest? So I put a link to our site, to our backpacks. Theoretically, this is their response from Matt from RTS Tactical. Theoretically, no students run at a shooter. So one would expect their backs would be facing the threat while running away. Whereas if they weren't running and needed to ground themselves down, they would theoretically hold the backpacks in front of themselves, protecting from the threat. This comes as a responsibility to the parents who are buying these to teach their children how to effectively protect themselves with them items. I'd love to hear if you have some suggestions or thoughts. Let me know if you have any questions. Oh, I do.
Oh man.
So
Hold
theoretically,
on. So before you go, because I just again, so theoretically they're running away from the threat. Okay, I can buy into the idea that people are gonna fucking run away from the threat. But if there is a second or third shooter in front of them, then fucking what?
and the reality is this, if you look at, hold on, and I'm going to include these links in the
and it's going to be chaos. They're going to be running towards any kind of fucking exit, wherever the fuck that. Like, it's just
well, this is the point. So if I'm going to have these links in here because they're a little. So there's two. So you have to look at what gunshot injury, where fatal and the majority of gunshot wounds are in active shooter criminal assaults. Most of them happen in the chest, upper body area.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because that's where not only you train to hit, it's just naturally where you're pointing your weapon. It just works out like that. So you could really answer this question by knowing, there's two questions we ask ourselves if it'll be effective. One, what caliber of weapon is being used most of the time? And two, where are most fatal gunshot wounds occurring? And the majority of them, and I have these links in there because there's two. There's one from Association of it's on this JAMA network, which is the title of the studies, the Association of Firearm Caliber with Likelihood of Death from Gunshot Injury. And the other one is, just share as I'm clunking my way around here, non-fatal injuries with in association with the non-fatal injuries. I can't speak. Non-fatal injuries sustained in mass shootings in the U.S. From 2012 to 2019. And you'll see, like in the chart, head there 29. Most are in the chest, abdomen, and pelvis. Then lower extremity. You're going to get the majority of the wounds where armor covers in the front, by the way. So I will be honest, you got to like dig deep and really kind of find this stuff. And then you got to muscle through the reports, which for me is very fucking difficult. But, the majority of wounds happen in fatal wounds happen in the torso. Now, the idea of a student, and again, to your point, you don't know what the hell's going to happen. You could hear shots fired and not know where they're coming from, right? You could be shots fired and then see the threat coming at you. One, what happens to the students that throw themselves in front of the active shooter? That happened in Virginia Tech. It happened in Columbine. It happened in most high school age, assaults. What about the teachers that put themselves in harm's way?
Yep.
That happened in Sandy Hook. That happened in Stoneman Douglas. That happens in Uvalde. The vast majority of teachers are compelled to put themselves in front. So, the fact that you're sitting there saying that, theoretically shouldn't even come out of your fucking mouth. Yeah. You should know, if you're a tactical company, you should know exactly what the data is, or have a rough idea. And then to say that a student, let's just say, even if it's an older student, I mean, you want to talk about I don't sell my stuff to grammar school. All right, middle school and above. One, the rating is ballistic ratings aren't meant for children, period. All right. The blunt force trauma involved, fine. The reality of a kid, of a child holding a 12, all in his backpack's going to weigh about 10, 15 pounds is ridiculous. Once you add the 6-pound plate to it, he's got whatever crap he has in there. So, it's just not feasible. Where do you see the kid being, hiding, right? I mean, if they're sheltering in place in a classroom, your standard classroom, the doors are very, very tough. You just can't shoot through them, and they don't. And you see it now when there's a lockdown. Your best spot is to shelter in place. For them to, by the time they shoot through a door, most likely the response, the responders are going to be there. They're going to go check doors, and then finally they'll try to shoot through them. But it's very, very, very difficult. Even with a rifle, you put holes in it, but Jesus Christ, you're going to have to put a lot of rounds through a bolt and a solid core door to get it to open up. Yeah. So, I mean, that's like kind of the whole thing is preposterous. So my response, let me just say entire screen. Okay. Entire screen. All right. I just got to pull up the email a second. Okay. So that was his email. My response, let's see if I happen. Let's see if Matt, surely you're kidding and clearly not tactically trained or poorly trained. You realize that many GSW are front and back in active shooter events. And what about teachers and staff? The people who deliberately put themselves in harm's way. Throwing a plate in a backpack is literally solving 25% of the problem. Next time you respond, do some actual research. Good luck selling a product that everyone else has. So his response, to assume I have no tactical training when I've spent years learning and not assuming such as yourself is asinine at best. The personal attacks are quite unbecoming of someone such as yourself. The owner of a company should hold themselves to higher standards. I suppose this speaks to the quality of your products and probably your customer service. Now, calling you out on your bullshit actually is holding myself to a higher standard. And the fact that you think I don't have the time to do this when this comes in my inbox, this is exactly what I have the time to do because you're lying. And then with that said, teachers and staff are beyond important. This is why our line of products are far more than just a backpack insert. We offer whiteboard and glass panels, solid panels dividers that are, and that just to name a few. Add ballistic blankets, our shields and plate carriers. We have something quite literally every individual school at any moment. It seems perhaps the research needing to be done might be on your end. All the best with your business. So let me just get back to this for a second. So this is what he's talking about when, I couldn't find the blankets on the site. Let me just see if it was in ballistic shields. Okay, here we go. So they've got armor glass panel divider. I don't know if you see that. That's $6,000.
Yeah.
$3,500 for an armor solid panel divider. $3,500 for a whiteboard. So I guess, I don't know when you would use these. I mean, I would imagine if you were in, an office space, maybe you would have this in addition to what you normally have. First of all, and these are very, very, very expensive.
Yeah.
And then they've
and
got.
What are the sizes of it? It doesn't actually show what the size.
I'm sure. And here's the blanket. So the blanket is a 4x4 level 3A blanket. Okay. I mean, yeah, you could wrap that around you and run. And then
$1,200. Sure.
Right. I mean, they've got a 6x8, which is $3,200. Again, it's like you got to get that, unwrap it, deploy it, and wrap it around yourself and go. Um, okay, it's like, when would you have this, right? You're not carrying this with you. This has got to be specifically when you're in an office or a classroom, right? I mean,
Now, what's the weight of a blanket like that to boot?
It doesn't see if it says anything. Give us a call for it's got to say protect your. Oh, here we go. Size and weight. 6x6 is 40 pounds. 6x4 is 30 pounds.
I'm sorry. So you're going to run around.
It's got to be, plus 50 plus.
So you're going to run around with a 40-pound fucking blanket?
I mean, as an adult, I think you could. I'm not
running with a blanket wrapped around you, man. Like, I'm going to go in and get a blanket and start running around. I'll be tripping all over that shit. Like,
it's again, you're gonna you would have it like you still need your face out, right? So you'd wrap it around, I'm guessing, your upper body, because you're gonna still, run. I mean, sheltering in place with throwing this over you, expecting the shooter just not to blunt force trauma the shit out of you, because when they look around, it's gonna hurt a lot, right? So, they'll just move the blanket out of the way, but again, it's not nothing. So I don't terribly hate it, but understand that this is going to be sitting in one place. You're going to leave it there. So if you're in a classroom, in your office, I do get it. Now, for 3,200, for anywhere from 2,000, or sorry, that's 1,200 to $3,200, as opposed to a $450 backpack that you can take everywhere with you, like we sell, like if you're front and back protection, hey, your call. When you're gonna, when you're gonna use it.
And could you imagine a classroom that has that one blanket and everybody fucking fighting for it?
Right. Now this thing, these things are expensive, and for whiteboards for school, I kind of don't see the point in them, because they're getting just as much ballistic protection out of their doors.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, they would have to, have, be. They have to breach the classroom, and a lot has gone wrong. I mean, if the door's locked, as it should be during class times, yeah. And this is only going to provide, you could, you could, run this, you could, if the shooter came in and you were behind the panel, you could run it at them. Again, this is limited in application and scope for what it's going to do. Your whole thing, the average response time for an active shooter is like 10 to 12 minutes. I mean, obviously this varies, and I say average because if you're in a rural area, it's forever. But, you really realistically, in a typical suburb, you only got a shelter in place for a few minutes before law enforcement is there. Law enforcement's supposed to come in, guns blazing. They don't wait for backup. They go. That's it. Yeah. So worst case scenario, it's a 10-minute ordeal before the cavalry comes. So I don't imagine they're selling a ton of these, because this is very expensive. And, the whole likelihood that still very small percentage that my business, it's easier to shore up the entranceways and make sure everything is locked. So saying that this is providing protection for teachers is, it's fucking bullshit. I mean, they're not using this, and I would be curious to see how many they have. They only have a couple reviews out of here, so maybe if they put a handful of these in the field, I can't imagine they're selling. I could be wrong. What do I know? It doesn't look like they're selling a shit ton of them. No. But so get back to my response. So theoretically, no students are under a shooter. All right, so here we start kind of getting into it. Because of the back to let me know if there are any questions. All right, let me share. So I just literally questioned. I'm trying to find my response to this. To assume I have no tactical security match. Are you kidding? Running naked, ground themselves. Sorry, people. I'm just trying to get.
I know. I'm looking forward to the whole child beating thing. Like,
Yeah, oh, it gets it. Okay. Here we go. All right. So, share entire screen. Okay. Okay. So this is my response. Theoretically, no students run at a shooter. I'm like, this is an assumption that is not true, and no one with correct training and prep would make that statement. Claiming your solution is new is, well, a lie. While it's new for you, people have been selling the idea of throwing a plate in a backpack for decades. When my bullshit detector goes off, I respond. And I say, yep, exactly. I found a picture of him. He's a chubby guy. That's it.
I love it because the pictures on the website are like the fucking chiseled, fucking badass looking motherfuckers with the guns and everything. And
Right.
here's
I cut out his.
Mr.
I guess that's. I don't know. This is his LinkedIn profile pic. I mean, I cut out obviously his girlfriend or wife, whatever. It's none of her problem. So then his response to me. I don't know why this is coming up. My father is a current chief of police for a major department, and my closest friend is a lieutenant at St. John's.
Okay. Good.
Okay, so this is his qualification as to why he's tactically trained. You know, I live next door to an Olympic athlete. Does that mean I am an Olympic athlete? And also, let me be honest, people, you know, just saying somebody's in law enforcement, okay, the majority of these guys are not what you think. They're not SEAL Team 6. I know, I would say like 10% actually keep themselves in shape and train. 10%. I mean, this is filled with humans. They go through the academy, they get in their job, and a lot of them become complacent.
Yep.
So I don't know how good a chief is. I don't know how good a cop these guys are. I'm going to assume that they are good cops, that they train, they keep themselves in shape, they do all the right things. Let's assume.
Well, theoretically.
Let's assume that. Again, you know nothing and come off as the uneducated schmuck you are. Congrats on fighting my photo on LinkedIn. You're a super spy. What have you done besides make a BS non-protective backpack? Okay, so you're selling a backpack with armor in the front. I'm selling a backpack with armor in the front and back. How is this non-protective? When you're selling half of what I'm selling. Good luck pushing poorly made, mediocre products. I'll make sure I don't buy one since I actually care to protect my life. LOL. I can guarantee my training far outweighs yours. Outweighs. Not even to begin to mention my intellectual capacity or intelligence, both of which you are sorely lacking from. Okay. I mean, so you're saying I don't sell a protective product, yet my product protects literally twice as much as yours does. And I'm non-protective, so I guess yours is half non-protective. You know, and it's funny because I don't make assumptions. When he said theoretically, I only operate within the context of what he said, right? So I don't know what, you know, it's like immediate. So when people don't have an argument, they immediately go to name calling. This is what happens. And this is what happens when people, you can sit there and, you know, you say you're trained because you live and know a guy. I'm like, because you live with a guy and you know a guy who have gone through training.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know what that is. You're not talking about you. So the next, let me see, because
there you go. I'll tell you, my next door neighbor's a gynecologist. Why don't you come over and sit on my table?
Right, exactly. I'm just saying, theoretically, most things naturally. You're kidding. I'm trying. My email. I don't know why it does this. Not to mention both of which you're lacking from. And then he comes in and says, "You're what? 55 plus with an unsuccessful company, trying to ruffle all the feathers you can. In 2 years, no one will remember your company existed." I mean, okay, we've been around since 2007. But hey, I mean, I guess, and me being 55, yeah, I'm like, what is that? Again, I don't understand what that has to do with even the success of my company. I guess, listen, I can't make an assumption, but maybe he's thinking that you can see this, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah, okay. Maybe he's thinking that because I have the time to get into it with a customer service rep that but look, everyone knows me. I enjoy this shit. It's like part of my pastime. So, to kind of to get into it and troll people is fun. So again, obviously he didn't see that. If he'd done a little digging, he would see we've been around since 2007, and I've been selling these armor products since 2018. So what did I say? Theoretically, okay. Oh yeah. So here was my response. Did you just say my daddy and my friend? I'm like, that is not. He goes, but he did. And he goes, LOL, you're really reaching for straws now. How am I reaching for straws when you reference your dad and your friend as your tactical training? I said I train and was raised in a tactical environment since I was a child. What the fuck does that mean? You were on the range, or you come in and your dad attacks you like Inspector Clouseau in the Pink Panther movies? Plenty proficient in self-defense environment and firearms, not to mention self-defense tactics. You just proficient in a self-defense environment, not to mention, I don't know what the difference is, that self-defense tactics, and that's it. Use the few very brain cells you have left to comprehend what is being written, as opposed to insinuating everything incorrectly again. How do I insinuate when you just told me that your dad and your friend were cops and you were not?
That's right.
Let us know when you have something noteworthy. We'll be all ears and waiting. What do I expect from the guy from the Northeast? All talk, no action. Typical Northeasterners. Have a good day and God bless. So again, here we are. I don't know. He's not listing any credentials at all. He's just saying in an email, plenty proficient in self-defense environment and firearms, not to mention self-defense tactics. Okay. What?
I love it. I love this guy.
There's like my certifications. I don't know. Plus the other shit I got hanging upstairs, or Google me, little bitch.
His is the family picture with dad.
Yeah, and his buddy.
But yeah, sorry, I forgot his buddy.
Right. So let me see what else. And then I'm like, so my response to that, I was like, we've been in business since 2007. I just like messing with BS when I see it. Congrats on the new solution. Then he gets back. Congrats on being an unsuccessful troll. I appreciate the entertainment today. Good luck. Okay, whatever. That would just get into some shit.
Yeah.
So then I get a little, I'm like, hey, thanks. Good luck with the Ozempic.
You had to go there.
I couldn't help it. Then he said, thanks, because I can lose weight, but you'll always be 5'4". Good luck with the heightening surgery. Where the hell did he get 5'4" from? I'm much taller than that.
I'm 5'7". Come
on. I used to be 5'8", but my spine, because of fucking getting thrown all the time, has shrunk me down. and fucking all the other shit I did. But Jesus Christ, where did he get 5'4" from?
5'4", that's awesome.
Again, talking about making assumptions. He's done nothing but make assumptions. So then I'm like, and then I just said, but you can't and you won't because you would have in response to him losing weight. Who doesn't want to lose weight? If you're fat, you want to get in shape. I don't care. It's hard. I get it. I feel bad for people with food addictions, but not when they're fucking assholes. So now I'm gonna go at you. But it's hard. Losing weight is hard. You can't just quit food because it's always around you and you need it to survive. It's not like, okay, if I'm not going to drink, I'm not going to have alcohol in the house, I'm not going to go to the bar. At least you can avoid some places. Yeah. Right. But with food, it's fucking hard, man. I get it. But, he's not going to lose weight. He's going to be a fat fuck. And look, here's the thing though. If he were into this, and if he were training, he would look like he would be in much better shape. At least a little bit. And he wouldn't have responded in the way that he did because, granted, I did the way I did. So now he goes, thanks, like your black belt in quote that you get from sparring children. Thanks for the fun.
There it is.
So what the hell does he mean by that? I got a black belt from sparring children? Again, another assumption. Assuming I'm 5'4", assuming I'm unsuccessful, assuming I've got a black belt from sparring children. Who am I, Kramer? I don't know if that's a Seinfeld reference. It's a very old show. You can watch
my God, that's fucking awesome.
I'm kicking it. I'm going to the kids' class, bitch. Yeah. And that's it. I mean, again, if you would just do a brief Google search, you would find, that these kids were middle school. No. and then I get this. I'm like, and my only response was like, you stopped trying 4 comments ago. I don't even know what that means. That was my response to the sparring kids. And he's like, I don't think you know what business acumen means. Ha ha ha. Okay. So now let me ask you a question. Speaking of business acumen, here you have somebody, me, who produces a product where you can automatically double your armor sales selling the same thing.
Yep.
Right? So instead of selling 1 shield, you're selling 2. I also sell a product, the Peacemaker Conceal Carry Jacket, that takes 2 soft armor panels front and back, something that you already sell. Right now, RTS Tactical is selling body armor and body armor products that pretty much everybody else sells. I mean, other than I don't listen, I'll give them, not everybody's selling the blanket, not everybody's selling the panels, the whiteboards and shit like that, which is basically what they're doing is they're putting an armor shield and then they're just coating it with something, which is fine. I get it. I don't know how many of those are selling, but we have product ready stuff that you can take private label, go to market with it and double your immediate sales. And you can also sell to the fucking direct to customer, to the civilian population. Because look, most people, they'll buy a plate carrier. If they're a civilian, they'll keep it in their fucking closet until zombie apocalypse or, social meltdown, right? Most people, if they get a bulletproof vest, it's a pain in the ass. You are not strapping that on unless you need it for work. And if you're commuting to work with it, it sucks. You got to take it off when you get to work. Why? Because they're hot. They're uncomfortable. They sweat. You sweat them. They will smell. You will smell. And now what happens is when you take the fucking vest off at work, unless you go to the bathroom, and where you're silent, where you're quietly ripping off the Velcro, that's going to get old fast. You're not going to want to do it. And then you want to be known as the bulletproof vest guy. He doesn't get invited to a lot of fucking cookouts. The bulletproof vest guy is fucking, he's making people think twice. He's not getting any blind dates and he's not going to a cookout. But here we have a ready-made solution that uses your products. and I've got shitty business acumen where you just literally lied about the new solution to the shooting crisis. You are uneducated when you say that the vast majority of school shooting instances involve rifles. That is a fucking lie. The data is there. You don't even look at it. You wanted to sell your fucking rifle plates.
Yep.
6 pounds, by the way, which are fucking heavy, which means it's probably aluminum or whatever shit they got in. And, it's a heavy plate. So my next response was simply make that 5. And then it says 5. That's taller than you. Congrats. Okay, yeah, we're stuck on the height thing. So then I said, my last thing was like, the hell did I just say? Something like that, my friend. The only response I remember I had to him is like, I'm like, all I remember saying was like, how the hell did you get, how the hell did you, I'm like, why on God's green earth do you think I'm short? And that was the last response I got out of him or something. Like, he didn't respond to that. So that's it. So yeah. That is my exchange with RTS Tactical, calling me short, unsuccessful, sparring children. And I sell a product that, even though it has twice the amount of coverage, doesn't protect.
Yep.
And it's poorly made.
Oh yeah, you forgot that.
Poorly made. And he's never held one. Again, but I'm the one making the assumptions because he grew up in a tactical household. And his dad went through training. Oh, and a friend of his went through training. So, yeah, I'm going to post, again, like I said before, I mean, I'm sure RTS Tactical makes good products. It's got nothing to do with that. Here we are, dealing with, a company that's using some marketing shit that's bullshit. Could have presented it a completely different way. They lied about the issue with rifles, and they're only adding to the hysteria around the AR. Which focuses on that. And when you look at the data, it is like literally less than 10% of active shooters use long guns, let alone, you got shotguns in there, you got hunting rifles, you've got other weapons other than the AR, but they see the AR, which actually stands for armor light rifle, but the media made it assault rifle, that these are weapons of war. And yeah, sure. But honestly, most of them are semi-automatic. At least the ones that we get our hands on. I mean, there's other states where you can get fully auto, but still, you are looking at a small percentage of what actually happens. Again, not just misinformation, it's wrong information.
Yep.
That's my issue with these guys, and to sit there and theoretically, when you're doing that, you shouldn't be, hey, it should start out, studies show, here's the study. Oh, okay. Thank you. I did not know that. But no, Matt, but again, I'm making the assumptions and I'm the one that's based in fact.
I love it.
So yeah, that was RTS Tactical.
Yes.
Again, I get these things, and when I see bullshit, I call them out on it. And I enjoy this, and then it gives us fodder for content. So,
yep,
that's it. All right, that's like enough. What are your plans for this weekend?
Oh shit! What is this weekend? This is we're the third week of September. Not much this weekend, but next weekend I've got that women's seminar here in Barrie, so that's going to be awesome. We're expecting about 30 ladies to show up for it.
Oh,
so
nice.
That'll be a 2-hour, although I told them we'll probably get it all done in about an hour and a half because I plan on, kicking the shit out of them. They just don't know that yet. We're going to have it's going to get physical. It's going to get physical. But nice. No, we're going to have a good time. They're looking forward to that. setting up for another private student with her daughter. So yeah, we're gonna get busy over the next little bit, and now we're talking about possibly putting together a partnership with a local gym here, which, once that happens, I can make more of an announcement, but we'll start doing some more regular stuff, seminars, workshops, maybe even an ongoing group class. I hate group classes, but we might do it.
It's like to get people, into it. And then once you got to, the hardest thing to do, and the hardest thing with seminars is what happens is that they don't really incorporate it into their lives.
Yeah.
So even if they were like, look, let's say they get 60 minutes self-defense after or whatever, like, look, just do these freaking drills, just practice.
Yep.
These are the drills you gotta practice. You get something, get a training dummy, put it someplace in your house, and just hit it every once in a while.
Well, even what you're doing now with that workout of the week, something like that. I mean, are you going to make that a standalone option for people who aren't necessarily elite students but want that?
Not at all.
Okay.
No, this is only for elite members. That's what it is. It's an added.
There you go, everybody. Get with the fucking program.
Yeah, to get an elite membership. It's like, I don't know, $20-$30 a month, and you're in. Yep. Or you can buy it all outright for like just under $400. So there you go, and then you get access to it for life. It's really not a lot if you use it. It's not a lot of money.
It isn't.
Right?
And with the fact that shit is being constantly updated and new information being added, like, why wouldn't they?
Right. I mean, and it's really like the techniques and the core tactics stay the same the whole time. They don't change. They've worked since the fucking beginning of time. Yeah. What we do is we just add little nuances to how we're training it. And this gives us another, now it's like, okay, before I was like, okay, do this. Now I'm just like actually doing the workout for you and giving it to you. So, yeah. I mean, I do this stuff all the time, so I might as well freaking film it. And it gives me something to do to go through this. Yeah, that's it. It's nothing, it's not, rocket surgery, but, maybe not to us because we do it all the time. But, now it's like even, as I do it, like there's things that come in my head. I'm like, holy shit. Like one of the things I like is like something simple as setting the bob back and setting the training shoes, that on the floor, like a few feet in front of it. So you can practice the forward drive. And you also see what happens with your momentum when you hit that thing. Cause it's one thing when you're hitting somebody holding a target because they're moving back. So you're kind of, you're kind of chasing them. But when you hit something that's still and you're moving at full clip, you realize like, okay, my first drop step, short edge of hand might not, it's not going to, it may just get them to do this. But by the time I get to my third strike and I'm moving, the force multiplication behind that strike is exponential. Like, because you're moving all your body weight forward into this. And even if you just hit them in the hands, chances are they're going to trip over something and fall. Right? Or run into something, and then you just clear their hands and start fucking smashing them with your heel of hand. So, I mean, like something like that comes out in it. And then of course, you can post comments. It's a training system forum. So you can post comments under there, ask questions. If you wanted to see something, I can add it to the next, I can add it to one of the workouts. So really simple, good shit. Yeah. And that's it. So, yep. All right. So anyway, and for us, I'm really not doing much of anything this weekend, just hanging out.
That's right. You're dealing with fucking kids gone now. So you're trying to fucking figure shit out.
Yeah.
No wonder you got the fucking workout thing popped up.
October's going to be busy. Cause, it gets into Halloween. I think I got like 2 Halloween parties. One we're hosting here. And then my son may come home. He may not. Depends. And then we'll see what's what. And then then you're into the holidays, and then it's busy shit and everything's busy. So cool. All right, man. So everyone, thanks for joining us. Post your comments and all that stuff below. Until next time, train honestly.